Well, the antenna came in today. Let's have a look. These are, you can see the connectors there, but these other ones here, they're line poles. Let's see if I can get one out. For when you're hanging your antenna and you use a small diameter rope. You pull your rope through, and as you pull it through, it automatically locks up, binds up with those ball bearings there. And when you want to release it, you pull down on this other section here, and it lets it go free. So if you're hanging the antenna with the rope, you can just keep pulling the rope. You don't have to keep fighting or whatever and hook it off something. So I got a bunch of those, and then a bunch of silver connectors, gold tip, Teflon for outside. Put that up to the side, and then we got the main item here, which is heavy. The Buckmaster Off Center Fed Dipole, and this is the 7-band version. So 80, 40, 20, 17, 12, 10, 6. It says no tuner required, but I'll be using the tuner. Let's flip it over and take a look. Now that's beefy right there. I'll give you an example. Here's a cigarette lighter next to it. This is the 3000 watt version. And that's meaty. And then our connector on the bottom here. So it's all ready to go. Okay, the wire is a 12 gauge 65 strand PVC coated. Okay. And then inside here is the 6-to-1 balun. Now this has got epoxy filling the whole entire inside, but I'm in a severe weather area. I'm down in Florida, and during the summertime we call it rainy season. It will rain every day, and other times of the year it's very humid, so there is a moisture problem here, and I wanted to avoid any kind of ingress of water into my antenna, so that's why I chose this. It looked like it was a really beefy setup. It's using a stainless steel there. If you want to do a inverted V setup, I'm going to hang it flat. I've got two trees that are about 235 feet apart, so I'm going to stretch this out. It's about 135 feet, and I'm going to use 3/16 UV Dacron cord. So I'm going to leave it in the bag for now, but you can see here's your wire coming out for each side. Big heavy duty clamp on there. This is really beefy. You ain't breaking that. And then so there's no doubts later on what you put up. There's what it is. And then like I showed before, I got these line poles. I've already got 2 pulleys, so I'm going to do a pulley system, a pulley in each tree, and then rope going through that. So it's going to make it a lot easier to do my adjustments, or if I know there's a big storm coming, I can lower the antenna down on the ground or lower it down and do maintenance. So I'm going to leave this in the bag for now, and I will show a video of doing the install. But if anybody's was interested in seeing what this is, look at the size of this insulator here. And they're not know, this thing's built to heavy duty. Okay, that's it. That's the Buckmaster 7-band 3000 watt Off Center Fed Dipole. I just want to add a note on the end here. It says no tuner required for the bands shown. Okay, if you look at their chart, you'll see the SWR dips on each of the bands there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this all up, set my whole system up. I will check to see what the SWR is on each band, okay? So I know what the real SWR is between my radio and the antenna, and then I'll put the tuner in line and tune. So when they say no tuner required, yeah, that's true, but on the safety side of things, you should really know what the SWR is on each band before you insert a tuner in line and you start tuning it. So yes, I will be using a tuner even though it says no tuner required, but all the SWR on each band will be known beforehand, so I know how much I'm actually tuning it. I want to show the bottom here. Tells you how high you want to put it up in the air. Now, if you look at reread this. I went with 3,000 watts because if I do go later on go with some kind of amp or something, I wanted to go full legal limit, which would be 1,500, and still have something that's beefy. I'm not going to burn this thing up because once you overheat this, you're going to change the characteristics of where it's tuning on each band. So that's why I went with 3,000 watts. I'm not going to be running 3,000 watts. As for the height, it's based on the wavelength of the antenna and how far they want you to get. So they're telling you 32 feet, and I believe that's to get it like a quarter of a wavelength off the ground. And the end's 8 foot. Now, from what I understand, unlike a Wyndham antenna, the drop for this coming down doesn't radiate, I believe, which is what I wanted, because I've got where my drop point's going to come down. Not very close, but I'd say within like 30 feet, I have buried phone lines. So I'm going to drop it down as far as I can. It'll probably be as close to that 32 foot mark, and then I'm going to go away from that. But I'm going to be running an RG8 Davis Berry Flex. So that's it. Okay, here's the other antenna stuff I was waiting for. Got a spool of 3/16. This is a double ply Dacron. Let's see if you can see the end here. See the plies. UV resistant, abrasion resistant. Some nice stuff. And then here's the cable I'll be using. This is RG8, pretty beefy stuff, and I think the velocity factor on this is like 0.8 or something. But I'll be able to drop this right down and cut the sod like I did. Just cut a slice and slip it underneath the ground, and I'll be good to go. Now it should be, I'm thinking it's going to be about 90 foot for the drop and then over to the house. There's 175 feet here, which leaves me some for making some jumpers for inside the shack, and I'll have enough left for either another antenna or I don't know, maybe when the weather gets cool I can make a jumper, and I can go right around this corner here. Right around the corner there to the left is where the feed point is. So maybe I'll be able to come out here in the cooler weather and sit on the porch and do a little DXing. Now as for the rope, 1,000 feet of rope, the reason for that, I'm just focusing on the screen. The reason for that is, say I want to put a pulley up on the top of the tree and I want to be able to get the pulley back down, I'm going to need the height of the tree 3 times. So one length of line on the one side to the pulley, and then another length going down the other side to hold the pulley, and then another length to be able to lower it. So you're talking probably about 120 feet, you know, or more, just for a pulley on each tree. And then that goes the same for the antenna. The antenna would be going across, but if I want to lower it for maintenance, I need enough to go over to the tree, go down the tree, and then have enough slack to be able to lower the antenna. So it's another height of the tree. So it sounds like an awful lot, you know. You buy a 1,000-foot roll, but the span is 235 feet, plus the pulley lines, plus the lines for the antenna and everything. And I want to be able to, if a big storm comes, or if I want to, you know, take a look at the antenna, do some maintenance, I want to be able to lower it to the ground. So that, and while I'm doing the work out here in the sun, I don't feel like cutting this exactly the right length. I'll be able to just cut off big pieces and do what I need to do. It's not very expensive. It's got the Dacron coating on the outside and the other ply on the inside. This is melted with a cigarette lighter, so you can't really pull it apart, but it's 2 plies in there. UV resistant. So that's that. A little roll of coax seal for my outdoor coax connections. And that's the remainder of the stuff for the antenna. Here's the pulleys I'll be using. Stainless steel, marine stuff. See, it's got a nice round shape on the inside there for the rope. Dacron. It's got ball bearings in it. You can hear it. So that's what I'll be using up in each tray. And then those line holders I showed below. These were offered by one of the sites, and I found them a little bit cheaper on the internet. These were about, I think, $9 a piece or something. So, plus this rope can't get stuck in the side there. And I wanted to mention that this stuff came from, besides the pulleys, but the rope and the coax and the seal stuff came from the wireman. Find them online. Have a good one.